out of the gates and ready to go. Welcome into this live Monday edition of Seattle Seahawks Today. Powered by Chat Sports. I am your fearless leader, Tyler Jones, here with you. So happy that you guys are making us a part of your day, starting out your week with us as we are here twice this week, as we have this Monday live show, which is just straight content for you, as we're going to be talking about potentially trading Noah Fant to the Miami Dolphins. Got some new rumors to get to on that coming up. And then also explain why Seattle's defense is going to shock the NFL this season. We'll have that for you coming up later on in the show. Wednesday, we will do a news and rumors show with the mailbag, and we'll also do a Madden Sim coming up on Wednesday. No Friday show this week as we celebrate America, the greatest country on earth, 4th of July weekend. And we'll take the day off, but we'll do it all again next week and have a full slate here for you. But I appreciate y'all being here and starting out the week here with us. As you guys file in, shout out your city. We'll shout you out as we get the show off and rolling. We're coming at you from the Chat Sports Studios here in downtown Dallas, Texas, on this very fine Monday afternoon. It is a little toasty outside, a little warm, but hey, we're hanging in there. We're vibing, and we're enjoying ourselves here. And had a good weekend. I stayed here. I didn't go anywhere. Just kind of relaxed a bit. I did go out a couple different nights and enjoyed myself. But nonetheless, it was a pleasant weekend for yours truly. Let us know where you guys are watching from, and we'll shout you out here. I got Nate in the USA. What's the song? Serpent USA. Oh yes, the Beach Boys. Yes. We got Michael in Honolulu. Got Pablo in South Carolina. Nate in Spokane. Pablo's saying, "What's up, Tyler Jones? What's up, Pablo? Good to see you, Pablo Domingo." Andrew's asking, "Would you trade for Micah Parsons since he's not happy in Dallas?" Hey, I'd be open to that conversation, but I think we're a while from a potential Micah Parsons trade. I don't see him going anywhere yet anytime soon, but you never know. Where else are we at? We got Zeke Authority, bringing the authority from Anchorage, Alaska. Good to see you, Zeke. I got Dalton in Eatonville, Washington. Thanks for being here, Dalton. Where else? Where else is everybody at? Let us know in the chat where you guys are watching from. Portland Trailblazer News Daily. Hello, I'm the new Portland Trailblazers Chat Sports. Hell no, you weren't. Hell no, you weren't. Get the hell out of here. Who the hell you think you are? Yeah, you get the hell out of here. You fraud. No, you're not. I did not sign off for that. I need to report you right now. Christopher's in Spokane. Got Aaron in Missouri. I got Hector saying TJ Watt to Seattle. Who else? Who else here? Where are you guys watching from? Let us know. All right, quiz time. We've done this for a couple different positions now. Let's move to the wide receiver position. How many Seahawks all-time wide receivers can you name? How many can you come up with? I am going to give you Jackson Smith and Jigba. And now what I need you to do is come up with any receivers you can possibly think of that have been on the active 53-man roster. And I need as many as you can in one individual comment. Okay? One individual comment. And here's the deal, too. Every single one of you should have Jackson Smith and Jigba included in your answer when you answer how many you can come up with. I've already given you one, so that should be included. And let's see who can come up with the most. I always have to explain the instructions on this like 20 times, and people still screw up every time. But I've made it very clear. One individual comment, come up with as many names as you can, and you should have Jackson Smith and Jigba included because I've already given you that answer. Who can come up with the most? Weigh in. Let us know right now. Who can come up with the most? Like Brian, I literally just told you. I just gave you Jackson Smith and Jigba, and you didn't have JSN included. Christopher, there we go. He's got JSN in there. Christopher came up with 3. Largent, JSN, and Joey Galloway. That's my JoJo, Joey Galloway. He does a terrible job covering college football on ESPN. Tex could probably back me up on that. I still remember Tex, as Tex joins me right now, while we're talking about Joey Galloway. Tex, do you remember a few years ago, as Tex and I are both big college football fans, Joey Galloway, Seahawks legend.
Oh, yeah.
He predicted Baylor to win the Big 12, and they won one game that year. It was the all-time worst take I've ever seen.
What year was that? I'm trying to remember.
I think it was the year you were in school then.
I think it was. That's what I was wondering, if it was 2017, because that would have been my first year, I believe, at Baylor before I transferred to Texas. And we were terrible. I think our one win was
2017.
Was against your Jayhawks. It was
Yes.
the only win.
Who also were pretty bad themselves and only won one game that year.
It was unbelievable, the teams they lost to. They lost to, like, Arkansas State and, like, Austin P. Like PAU, and I was like, I don't even know what that school is, and they lost.
That was Matt Rule's first season.
It was rough. It was
1-11.
They were bad, but then they got way better in like a year or two.
But yeah, all-time bad take from Joey Galloway.
Horrible.
Never been a fan of Joey. He does not know ball.
No.
You all know ball. Who can come up with the most names? I think Rick's got the most with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I see Zeke's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So Rick's got the most to beat with 10. Can anybody top 10 in their individual comment? And then I see 2 more added from Rick. 2 more as well. He's at 14 now. Can anybody name more than 14 on our little quiz? Weigh in and let us know. All right. If you would like a shout out from Big Tex and would like to see if you're going to be the early favorite to be the MVP on today's show, I need you to spam S in the chat. I want to see how many S's we can get over this next minute. That helps out the algorithm, lets people know we're here, that we're live, where I have a decent audience to start the show. Got 64 people in the building, but I know there's more people waiting. They are outside the club trying to get entry from security. And I got to tell you, I need y'all to go get the neighbors' attention. Wake them up a bit. Let them know we're here, that we're live. We're talking Seahawks football here on this Monday on the final day of June. So I need everybody to spam ass over this next minute. Whoever spams it the most is going to be the early favorite to be MVP of today's show. Text is going to shout them out, and let's have a party today. So here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
I see Rick, Zeke, Hector, Christopher, Marvin, Nate, Zeke, Christopher, Pablo, Zeke, Rick, Zeke, Nate, Rick, Christopher, Hector, Rick, Nate, Christopher, Zeke, Hector, Nate, Zeke, Rich, Brian. That's a long comment, but appreciate you. Zeke, Michael, Nate, Marvin, Michael, Nate, Pablo. What's up, Pablo? Michael, Rick, Metal Bozo. That's a new one. I got Ty Clark, Michael, Nate, Marvin, Zeke, Dalton, Michael, Ty, Dalton, Nate, Ty, Michael, Dalton, Christopher, Nate, Zeke, Rick. Keep going. Dalton, Dwayne. There's a new one. Nate, Pablo, Dennis, Zeke.
About
Michael,
10 more seconds.
Nate, Michael, Marvin, Rick, Nate. Keep going. Zeke, Rick, Nate. Keep spamming S. Marvin, Zeke, Ty. 5 more seconds. Zeke, Nate, Michael. Keep going. Zeke. Finish strong. Ramel, Rick, Dalton, Zeke, and Dalton. Good stuff.
Nice. By the way, I just looked up that 2017 year that Kansas and Baylor faced off in Toilet Bowl. Kansas' one win that year was to FCS Southeast Missouri State, 38-16.
That's tough.
And they lost to that one-win Baylor team at home, might I add you. I was at this game, by the way. There was probably no more than 500 people there. The final score was 38-9, Baylor winning.
That was definitely their largest, their only margin of victory, but definitely a large margin of victory. Surprising.
The claimed number in attendance. No way this is true. 21,797.
No chance.
No chance there was
No chance.
21,000 people at that game.
No. You said 500? Maybe like 1,000?
Maybe like 500 or 1,000 people. 21,000? My ass.
Stop counting.
My ass. Stop the cap. All right. We need you all to like the video. We're at 22 likes right now. When we get to 40, I will crack open a cold White Claw because there ain't no laws when we're drinking claws. But we need you guys to hit that like button. And let me know in the chat when you like the video. And I will shout you out and show you some love as we get this show started here on this very fine Monday. And let's have a great time today. Need about 18 more likes. Hit that like button, and let's have a good day today, folks. Happy Monday. It is 4th of July week. Another 4-day work week for yours truly. I'm starting to master the 4-day work week in the summer. It's becoming a norm for me. I love it. And this weekend, I get the 4-day work week without having to even take PTO, so even better. Who else we got here? Who's all liked the video? I need 12 more likes to get to 40. I got Nate liking it. I got Daniel. I got Rick. I got Logan, Jonathan, Board, Lightning, Logan. That puts us at 28 now. I need 12 more. 12 more. Who's going to put us over the top? Let's get to 40 here. And then we can start today's show. I can take a drink and we get this thing going. Let's see here. Who is going to help us out? I need 9 more likes. 9 more likes. And then we'll be good to go. Marvin liked it. Dalton liked it. Almost there. Almost there. I got a green apple White Claw today. I'll be honest. I tried this for the first time recently, and it was surprisingly very good. I went in with low expectations, and it was pretty solid. Hector says, Tyler, what gets shorter as it grows older? I see where you're going with this. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Did you hear that text? Oh, yes. Yeah. I'm not going to answer that question. I know the answer. I'll leave it at that. Viva Viagra. Let's see. 2 more to 40. And then I'll crack open the White Claw. Then we can get started here. 1 more. 1 more. Robert liked it. Boog liked it. Marvin. Dalton. There we go. 40 likes. Thank you all. Thank you all. Everybody raise your glass. Cheers. Go Hawks. All right. Super Chat menu. There is no mailbag today. Oh, what happened to the wheel? Did the link expire? Okay. There is no mailbag today. It is the last day of the month, so I know all of you have been paid. So you should have money to be able to Super Chat us today. No excuses. You can't claim you're broke. It's payday. I know I got paid today. I want everybody to party and have a good time. Celebrate payday accordingly. Start off your holiday week right with us. And let's have a good time today. First time Super Chatters, get the Seahawks chant. $5, do a beer cheers. $10, take some shots. $20, spin the wheel of punishment. $50, we will do a beer bong. $sign next to the chat box if you would like to contribute. No mailbag today. So the only way that you can get on screen is by sending us a Super Chat. And here's the other bottom line, too, folks. We want to party. We want to have a good time today. And I would love to do a boot. But we got to get $300 to get there. So who is going to help us out? Who's going to have a great time today? Let's enjoy ourselves. Send us a Super Chat. Whoever sends in the first Super Chat of the day, I don't care if it's $1, if it's $300, we are going to go crazy, folks. And this is a bit of a shorter show today because we already put out a video reacting to that Jalen Ramsey trade. So our time is limited today. So if you would like to get turned and get cronky on a Monday, then we better get this thing started pretty quick. So let's see who's going to send the first Super Chat of the day, and let's enjoy ourselves. First time Super Chatters get the Seahawks chant. $5, do a beer cheers. $10, take some shots. $20, spin the wheel of punishment. $50, we will do a beer bong. Logan, I told you right at the top of the show, we're live from the Chat Sports Studios here in Dallas. I answered that question at the top of every show, my guy. I don't know where you've been, but thanks for being here. But that's the Super Chat menu today. Let's see who's going to send in the first Super Chat of the day. Coming up on today's show, we have the latest news and rumors on a potential trade involving Noah Fant. Is the arc about to come crashing down? We'll discuss coming up momentarily. Also, in our second segment, we'll let you hear from one NFL insider from The Athletic that explains why the Seattle Seahawks defense will shock the NFL this season and could be the number one defense in the league. We'll have that for you coming up in our final segment of today's show. So stay tuned for that, and let's have a great time today and get this party started. So, without further ado, my friends, let's go ahead and get started with our first segment today. Let's talk news and rumors on potentially trading Noah Fant. We'll begin with that, and then we'll talk about the Seahawks defense to follow after that here on today's show. No mailbag today. The only way you can get on screen is by sending a super chat. Still waiting to see who's going to send the first super chat of the day. I know you all been paid. It's a holiday week. We can get down and have a good time. Let's make it happen today, folks, and get after it. Here we go. First segment on this live edition of Seattle Seahawks Today starts right now. Folks, we need your help. We're closing in on 68,000 subscribers here on the channel. I literally need 2 more. Uno, dos. That's it, folks. And then we'll be at 68K subscribers. You may be wondering, what does a free subscription to Seahawks Today get you? Well, we're live 3 days a week, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday throughout the off-season. We're bringing you daily news and rumors, sometimes 2 and 3 videos a day. We have breaking news, Q&A mailbags, and more. It's your one-stop shop for all things Seattle Seahawks. Subscribe now for free. Never miss a moment. Be one of the 2 that puts us over the top to get to 68K. And then the race is on to get to a very nice number, my favorite, of 69,000 subscribers after that. Can't wait. Subscribe now for free, and we'll get started with today's show. Are the Seahawks about to trade Noah Fant? Welcome into this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today. Powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones, your fearless leader, here with you. Thanks for joining us. Let's get right to it, folks. Noah Fant, it is no secret that there have been a lot of rumblings over the last couple of months about Seattle potentially moving on from Noah Fant, whether that be trading him or releasing him and looking for a new team potentially for him to take his talents to, as we've seen Noah Fant not really develop into the tight end Seattle had hoped that they were getting when they traded for him from the Denver Broncos. And then on top of that, too, he has been paid a handsome sum of money and isn't really worth that amount of money that he's being paid. And now we have a new development by way of the Miami Dolphins, who just traded Jonnu Smith away. They're in search for a tight end. Seattle's got 2 good young ones in H.A. Barner and Elijah Arroyo. So what about the idea of potentially sending Fant to Miami? Corbin Smith, who covers the Seahawks, put this out there on Monday. I don't think it happens, but the Dolphins now have a big hole at tight end. The Seahawks have A.J. Barner and Elijah Arroyo as capable 1-2 options with different skill sets. Does Miami inquire about Noah Fant's ability? Now, they are putting some phone calls out there in regards to the tight end position. The Miami Dolphins are. Tom Pelissero, the NFL Network, saying this: the Dolphins are now in conversations with multiple teams about acquiring a tight end after sending Jonnu Smith to Pittsburgh, per sources. A wild start to the holiday week gets wild. Now, could Noah Fant potentially be traded? It's possible. I don't see it happening, and to me, I don't really see it happening with the Miami Dolphins in particular. And let me explain why. Jonnu Smith, who they just traded, sent him away to the Pittsburgh Steelers. The biggest issue on hand was money. All about the Benjamins. They did not want to pay Jonnu Smith. So, with all this talk, and there's some Seattle fans that have been having some rumblings about this over the last 24 hours or so, have said to themselves, well, they need another tight end. Why not Noah Fant potentially? Well, here's the question I would throw back your direction. If money was the issue with Jonnu Smith, then why, if you're the Miami Dolphins, would you of all of a sudden want to pay Noah Fant? In what world does that make sense? Where, yeah, we don't want to pay Jonnu Smith, but we want to pay Noah Fant. Could they trade for him? I mean, sure, it's not impossible, but I think the chances of him ending in Miami are pretty slim at this point. I doubt he ends up as a member of the Miami Dolphins, but we shall see if something develops before training camp and get his money off the books and try to get some draft capital for him. We'll examine the potential trade possibility of Noah Fant here in just a moment. But first, time to be the GM here on Seattle Seahawks today. Should Seattle trade Noah Fant? Type T for trade, K for keep. You might get an ad break while the ad's playing. Get your votes in and let us know which way you lean towards. All right, so I am going to be a fair judge because we tried to keep you honest here, folks, and be as fair as possible. Let's start with the case for keeping Noah Fant. If you keep Noah Fant, you ensure that new quarterback Sam Darnold has at least one proven option at the tight end position, which for Sam Darnold last season in Minneapolis was a safety net for him within that offense with T.J. Hockenson. It was somebody he was very comfortable with, and he depended on that tight end position a lot. So that would be the case for keeping him, is really for the best interests of Sam Darnold. Now, however, the opposite end of things, the case for trading Noah Fant comes down to this. No matter what happens in 2025, you are not going to bring Noah Fant back next season. It's not happening. He's done. So if you're Seattle here, you could potentially go ahead and count your losses now and trade Noah Fant, try to get what you can out of him, save some money, and potentially go from there. Now, personally, do I have a strong opinion one way or the other? I'll be honest, not really. I think that either way, this is not an earth-shattering decision for Seattle. And for me, that's kind of actually why I lean towards trading him, because I don't see there being a significant fall-off, if any at all, of moving on from Noah Fant and going with Elijah Arroyo and A.J. Barner here. I personally lean towards trading him. But if they decide to keep him and say, you know what, it's within the best interest of this offense and our quarterback to keep him here, then I totally understand where they're coming from potentially. More on Noah Fant, former 2019 first-round pick out of Iowa. He's got some wheels on him. We call him a Madden merchant around here, folks, based on what we've seen with that 4.5 speed. The nickname that I have dubbed for him, and if he stays here in Seattle, we will continue to call him this going forward, is Noah Fentanyl. Look, if Noah Fentanyl is going to be here this season, we want to be ODing on that fentanyl. All right? We want just a big serving, a big helping of some Noah Fentanyl here. But unfortunately, what the numbers show you for the former first-round pick and Pro Football Writers Association All-Rookie Team selection, he hasn't been taking enough of the fentanyl. There has not been enough of a fentanyl epidemic in Seattle by any stretch of the imagination. They have been lacking the dosages of fentanyl in his time here. As you can see, the numbers, only one combined touchdown the last two seasons, just 500 yards. And a lot of people were pointing to when asked about, okay, why has Noah Fentanyl not done more? Why have we not seen the dosage of the fentanyl go up in this offense. And you put in a new offensive coordinator, a scheme last year that wanted to use the tight end, and his numbers didn't really go up significantly. His catches did, his yards did in less games played, but his average was down quite a bit, from 12.9 to 10.4. Fant has about a $13.4 million cap hit this season, okay? And I believe the number, if you trade him, you can save about $9 million. Then you got some money to go get another player and replace him with something better, potentially speaking. If you trade Fant, you're likely not going to get much. You potentially bring in about a 6th or 7th round pick, but you get his contract off the books, and you have that pick to use to invest in your future potentially. So that's what you're looking at. So we'll talk about some potential trade destinations here for Noah Fant of who could be getting a dose of fentanyl here in just a bit. But we want to know what team you think is going to be ODing on fentanyl. Will it be the Seattle Seahawks? Will it be the Miami Dolphins? Or somebody else for that matter? Tell us in the comments section what team you believe that is. Predict it for me in the comments section below. Folks, we got a great deal we're offering right now. We have some fantastic Nike T-shirts on sale for $15.99. Yes, you heard that right. Chatsports.com/SeahawksT to get yours today. It is hot outside. It's not very often we are talking about Nike shirts and being cheap. And this is your opportunity to get just that. $15.99 while supplies last. Chatsports.com/SeahawksT to get yours today. We also have other Seahawks merchandise available at that same link. Go see for yourself now. Chatsports.com/SeahawksT to get yours now. All right, let's break down the top Fant destinations. I got 5 teams to watch. Let's start with the Miami Dolphins here. For obvious reasons, they're trying to replace Jonnu Smith potentially. And this could be an option, although I think it's unlikely at this point. The Atlanta Falcons, we'll see what they do with Kyle Pitts. But Kyle Pitts, kind of like Noah Fant in this sense, been very underwhelming at this point. Maybe he needs some help potentially next to him, and that's where Fant could come in. The Jacksonville Jaguars moved on from Evan Ingram. Trevor Lawrence still there. Offense looks pretty decent. Receiver with Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter and Travis Etienne. They could use a tight end there. Carolina Panthers, they can need all the help they could get. I mean, you know, if they take some fentanyl, they might just be passed out on the floor, but it might do them some good. And then you got the LA Chargers, who do have our old friend Will Dissly over there. But the tight end position is clearly the weakest link when you talk about the LA Chargers, that they don't have a ton to offer at that spot. Maybe he could come in and be a difference maker and help out Jim Harbaugh's offense. And Harbaugh's got a good track record with tight ends there. Bottom line, as we wrap it up on this, folks, the reason why we're even having this discussion, quite simply, Noah Fant has been underperforming. And it's nothing personal. It's just business. I think at the end of the day, the reason why you go ahead and make a trade is you're going to be fine without him. I think I'm very confident in Elijah Arroyo and his abilities to potentially become a star in this league. I think A.J. Barner has shown he can be a solid number 2 blocking tight end, and you go from there. For continuing Seahawks coverage, subscribe now to Seattle Seahawks Today for free. YouTube.com/SeahawksTV. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. See you next time. All right. There we go. Yes. All right. One down. We'll catch up at Super Chats here in just a bit. But we want to know, should the Seahawks trade Noah Fant? Type T for trade, K for keep. What do we think? Does anybody want to keep some fentanyl around here? What do we think? I'm surprised I didn't see more people in the chat say anything about the fentanyl comment. Noah Fantanyl. That's his name. That's his name, folks. Nate makes a good point. Free up more money for Trey Hendrickson. Exactly. Our poll question right now, should the Seahawks trade Noah Fant? A very nice 69% of you going yes, 31% going no, that they should hold on to him at this point. Let's see. Very curious what you guys think on that front. Up next, coming up in just a moment, we will talk about why the Seahawks defense will shock the NFL. We got some comments from an NFL insider from The Athletic that we'll show you and react to him coming up momentarily. Rick Davis with a $5 super chat. That's a beer cheers. It's our first super chat of the day. First time. I didn't see the graphic come up, but we can throw it up for you, Rick. And we can give you the Seahawks chant, and I'll give you a salute as well. First time, love the channel, Seahawks fan since 1980. That's awesome. That's awesome, Rick. I was not born until 1996, so you got me beat by quite a bit. But welcome to the show. Thanks for supporting us. Thanks for hanging out here, man. Hopefully you're having a fantastic Monday, a great 4th of July week to you, and I appreciate you supporting the show. We'll do the chant for you here in just a minute, but I'll salute my glass to you, my friend. Cheers. Let's go, Rick. Let's go, Rick. Let's do the chant for Rick. Tex will get the chant going. I want everybody to spam Rick in the chat for being a first-time super chatter, and let's show him some love here on today's show. So, Tex, whenever you're ready for Rick, let's give him the chant. We do this for every first-time super chatter.
C
Hawks!
C
Hawks!
C
Hawks! Let's go, Rick! Spam Rick! Slick Rick! Rick Davis, first-time super chatter. Thanks for being here with us, Rick. Much appreciated. Everybody spam Rick in the chat for that first super chat. Up next, why the Seahawks will shock the NFL, the Seahawks defense. We'll explain more, and then we will continue as we are rolling along here on Seattle Seahawks today. Appreciate y'all being here with us. Let's keep the vibes going and have a great time today. And appreciate y'all being here. Tyler Jones, Big Tex, as we continue. Let's talk about the Seahawks defense, why they'll shock the NFL here on today's program beginning right now. Here we go. Coming up on today's show, we're going to explain why the Seattle Seahawks defense will shock the NFL in 2025. Tyler Jones, your fearless leader, here with you. Thanks for joining us. We're going to let you hear what one NFL insider had to say on Seattle's potential on the defensive side of the ball. And I'm going to tell you, folks, you're going to like what you're about to hear coming up momentarily. Before we do that, folks, if you believe in Mike Mack and the Seahawks defense, I need you to like today's video. Who knows? Maybe Mike Mack is watching. Somebody close to him is watching today's show. We want to make sure our voices are heard loud and clear, that we are all in, that we think this defense is legit. Too legit to quit. Like the video, folks. Let's get at least 1,000 likes on today's video, and let's show some belief. This defense, it's the real thing. I believe. Show us that you believe with those likes, and we'll get going here. So the Athletics' Derrik Klassen, he did an interview with Seattle Sports Radio within the last couple of days, and Klassen does a really good job as an insider covering the National Football League, and he gave a pretty interesting perspective when it comes to Seattle's defense and seemed to be very high on what this group can accomplish here in 2025. And what we're going to do is we're going to go over the highlights of Klassen's segment on Seattle Sports and show you what he had to say and react to it. So let's begin with this from Klassen. He believes that this Seattle Seahawks defense is among the best of the best in the National Football League. And that is, as of right now, without making a trade for a guy like Trey Hendrickson, without adding a Jalen Ramsey or a Jair Alexander who ended up with other teams here. No, just as is. At this very damn moment in time, Klassen believes this could be the NFL's number one defense in 2025. And think about this for a little perspective, my friends. Just a few years ago, not even that long ago, We were talking about this being a bottom 5 defense in the NFL. The final year under Pete Carroll, this defense was a disaster. It was a laughingstock. It was a joke. By the end of last year, folks, Mike Macdonald had this defense from 0 to 100 real quick, as they were a top 5 defense by the end of the year. So the work has been put in, and they have seen, to get biblical with you here, the fruits of their labor pay off. More from Klassen on what he's talking about here. I think there's a chance they can be the best defense in the league. And that's something. They've come a long way, but the job is far from finished. They got a long ways to go, but I do love that enthusiasm, just hearing that this defense as is, without adding anybody, just with mostly bringing the guys back you already have. Yes, you brought in DeMarcus Lawrence, drafted Nick Emmanwori, but the starters, for the most part, are the same that they were a year ago. And another year under Mike Macdonald, that's a big effing deal, my friends. Being honest with me, can the Seahawks have the best defense in the NFL? Do you agree with the assessment made by Derrik Klassen? You got 2 options here. Type Y for yes, in for no. Chime in the comment section. Tell us what you think one way or another, if you believe the Seahawks can have the best defense in the league or not. Folks, want to make sure you're subscribed to Seattle Seahawks Today as we bring you our daily news and rumors. We also have our live shows 3 days a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We have interactive Q&A mailbags, the latest on your favorite team. It's all right here on your one-stop shop for all things Seattle Seahawks. Subscribe now for free. Never miss a moment, whether it's breaking news, whether it's a live show. You want to make sure you're subscribed and alerted when we have that new content on the channel. Best part about it, 100% free. YouTube.com/Seahawks TV. Subscribe now for free. You'll be glad you did. That's YouTube.com/Seahawks TV to subscribe now. Number 2 on the takeaways from Klassen, he has trust in Mike Mac's defensive scheme. Mike Macdonald was dubbed as the Sean McVay of defense when he was named the Seattle Seahawks head coach, as a bit of a wonder boy of sorts, right? That not only is he a genius, but he's so young at this, right? Much like Sean McVay to that extent. And the way that Klassen described Mike Mac, one of the things that he pointed to was not just the scheme, but the decision-making from Mike Macdonald, that he is a brilliant play caller. Now, let me tell you this, folks. Let me give you a little perspective for a moment. Typically speaking, I personally am not high on my head coaches calling plays. To me, there's typically more bad than good that comes out of that. You usually want your coordinators to call the plays and for your head coach to be able to see the game from both perspectives and to be able to help coach on both sides and let their coordinators do their jobs. But because Mike is so brilliant and so good at this, there are exceptions to the rule. It is very rare, folks, that we see at the college or pro football level coaches that call plays end up as Super Bowl champions. Andy Reid's and Sean McVay's do not grow on trees. It's typically not a system for success. But when you have a one-of-a-kind mind like Mike Macdonald, then it makes a little more sense that you can get away with it. More from Klassen on Mike Macdonald. It just feels like they are never in the wrong call. And that's kind of a hard thing to quantify. But if you watch other defenses, and every now and then you just feel like, oh, man, they shouldn't have blitzed there. Oh, man, they really shouldn't have ran man coverage there. It feels like Mike Macdonald does the opposite. It just all feels like they have the right answers at the right time. There are very few defensive coordinators where it feels like they are on the front foot against the offense. And Mike Macdonald, to me, is one of those guys. I think he teaches the secondary very well, and he brings his pressures in a way that is very smart. I have no doubts whatsoever in Mike Macdonald. If we were to pinpoint some of the issues and the concerns about this Seattle Seahawks team entering 2025, Mike Macdonald is not one of those. You could say, sure, the offensive line. Maybe you don't think they have enough edge rushers potentially, or maybe you're not a fan of Sam Darnold. Maybe you don't think they have enough receiver help. Of all the issues that you could raise here, Mike Macdonald is not going to be one of them. Seahawks, I don't think they have 99 problems, but Mike Macdonald ain't one, and a bitch ain't one either. So they're in good shape. Mike's the right guy. And, you know, I would also say this to Mike Mack's credit. He had a fantastic first season. 10-7. Co-champions of the NFC West was a really good year. The problem was, for Mike Mack, nobody was talking about it because this team missed the playoffs. And there was another guy by the name of Dan Quinn in his first year with the Washington Commanders that happened to take his team to the NFC Championship game. That kind of overshadowed the good job Mike Macdonald did. But there's no doubts about Mike Macdonald, in my opinion. I think he's doing a great job. How would you grade the Seahawks defense entering 2025? What do you think of this group as is without adding anybody? A, B, C, D, or F? Weigh in the comments section. Tell me what you think about this group. A, B, C, D, or F? Chime in the comments section and let us know. Folks, got a great deal we're offering right now. Nike Seahawks t-shirts are on sale now for $15.99 at chatsports.com/Seahawks T. It's very rare we're talking about Nike and cheap in the same sentence, but here we are, folks. Just $15.99 is all. It's getting hot outside. You need some gear to represent your favorite team and represent the Seahawks at the same time. Why not get one of these fantastic shirts? Chatsports.com/Seahawks T to get yours today. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. We also have other Seahawks merchandise available as well. Chatsports.com/Seahawks T to get yours now. So another thing that Klassen talks about is the defensive line, in particular the defensive tackle spot. And what Klassen points to is he believes the defensive tackle unit for the Seahawks, in his words, is insane. Here's more. This defensive tackle unit might be insane. Leonard Williams last year obviously was one of the best defensive tackles in the league. He played at truly an all-pro level. And then I think there's a chance that Byron Murphy really takes a step and is something similar to what Mike Macdonald had in second-team All-Pro Justin Madubuike in Baltimore. There are obviously some other good players on the defense, but I really think that defensive tackle room, if this is the best defense in the league, it's going to be because of those guys. I look at the defensive line, and I think this is a great group. This is the best defensive line that we have seen for Seattle in a number of years. And we don't have to go back very long, folks, when the defensive line for Seattle was the bane of my existence. Remember those days when they struggled to stop the run? And we kept saying to ourselves, it's that damn defensive line letting Seattle down again. And credit where credit's due to John Schneider and company, they've invested. Starting with Jaron Reed, who has turned out really solid for them. He's been worth every penny. Then you bring in Leonard Williams at the trade deadline. Leonard Williams looks like the most underrated defensive player in all of football. And then Byron Murphy. His numbers weren't earth-shattering last year, but we saw what happened when he was not on the football field and how much that defensive line took a step back. There are some depth concerns, but at least with the starting three, I think you're in really good shape with this group and their capabilities and what they could potentially get done. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. And these guys are going to be the bread and butter. They're going to be leading the charge, and I think you're going to like what you see from them here in 2025. What's your confidence level in the Seahawks defensive line? Scale it for me 1 through 10. How are you feeling about this group entering 2025? Weigh in the comments section and let us know what you think. If you enjoyed today's show, you already know what to do. Hit that like button. We certainly would appreciate it. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time right here on Seattle Seahawks Today. There we go. All righty, my friends. How are all my rowdy friends doing tonight? All right. We're We're almost done already. Just a short live show today, 2 segments. But, folks, we can keep the show going, keep talking Seahawks, whatever you want to do, if we get some super chats in here. I'm going to put a minute on the clock. If we get a super chat of any amount, we can keep the show live and keep talking Seahawks or whatever is on your mind. If not, we can sign off and call it a day. First time super chatters get the Seahawks chant. $5, we'll do a beer cheers. $10, take some shots. $20, spin the wheel of punishment. $50, we will do a beer bong. And if we can reach 300 in super chats, we could potentially do a boot today. So it's up to you guys. Let's see if we can get a super chat or not. And if not, we'll sign off and call it a day. Wednesday, we'll be live here on Seahawks Today. We'll have news and rumors, Q&A mailbag, and we'll also do a Madden sim against the Tennessee Titans as we're headed to Nashville to face Cam Ward and company. We'll have that game for you coming up on Wednesday, so don't miss out on that. Should be a lot of fun. Can't wait to have that for you here on the channel. No Friday live show this week as we're off for the holiday, but we will be back to do it all again Monday. We'll still have videos going on the channel each and every day this week, so stay tuned for that. I'm not seeing any more super chats come in, so we'll sign off. We'll call it a day. Appreciate y'all being here with us. Have a great rest of your Monday. Thanks for starting your week with us. Got a video on the channel you guys need to go watch after this show that talks about the Jalen Ramsey trade, how it impacts Seattle and their chances to get Trey Hendrickson. So check that out once you get done watching this show. For Big Tex, I'm Tyler Jones. Have a great night, everybody. So long.